I bought another pinball machine. Hey, Pin Dude here. Welcome back to my vintage pinball. This week's episode is a unexpected video. I was not expecting to put my other projects on hold and pick up another pinball machine. But as many of us pinball people have an addiction to pinballs, and I happened to be about to go to bed one night and went onto the internet to check Craigslist and the Pinside Marketplace like I normally do, even though I'm not looking for a game. And one popped up on the Pinside Marketplace that was only two or so towns away, and it was a game that I like, and I figured, what the heck, let me email the guy. I noticed it was up for, listed for 10 hours. It's probably gone already. No, still available. So I bought it, and here it is. So I got a new game. There is some benefits to this game. It is a fully working game. The guy I bought it from got it fully working, and he actually shopped the playfield. So the playfield, is nice and clean and waxed, and the rubbers have been replaced, and the metal parts have been tumbled. But there still is some stuff I'm going to need to do before we get this into the game room. So on the plus side, we're working on the game room. If you saw my last video, which was a game room and workshop update, I mentioned that I reconfigured the game room. I have spot for 5 games. I currently only had 4 games. Now I have 5 that I'm leaning on right now. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to put my other 2 projects on hold, which is roller games, which is about more than 3/4 of the way done. Just about ready to do the touch-up and the clear coat on the playfield, put that back together, and that game will actually be done. And then the other project game I have is Stern Stingray, which we really haven't even started yet. We went through, made the electrical parts order, and have that game ready to start doing the electrical rebuild of the game and get that plugged in and powered on for the first time. And now we have this project game, which I'll call this a light project. There's some cabinet stuff to do, a little bit of Playfield stuff to do, and just some tidying up and getting it ready to go into the game room. So it shouldn't delay us too much. I'm hoping at the worst it'll take maybe 2 weeks to get through this game and get it set up into the game room. The other thing is we did go to IKEA today to look for the furniture stuff that we want to put in the game room / sit-in room / hangout room. So we now know everything we're going to order from there. We're going to be doing that IKEA order probably this week. So there'll be a game room update in the coming weeks of us getting that furniture in the room and getting the room set up just the way I want it. I think it's going to work out really good. I think it's going to be my best iteration of a game room since I've been doing this hobby for the last 15 plus years. So really excited about that. But for now, let's reveal what the game that I just bought last night is. All right, so we'll make this a little guessing game here. I'm going to give you hints as to what this game is. See how long it takes you guys to figure out what it is. All right, so under the covers here, I have a pinball head and a pinball body. I'll start by saying the manufacturer of this pinball machine is a Gottlieb. It's a Gottlieb pinball machine. It is a Gottlieb solid-state pinball machine. It is a Gottlieb System 1 solid-state pinball machine. There was 9,900 units of this pinball machine made. It was designed by Ed Krinsky. The artwork was done by Gordon Morrison. It was manufactured in April of 1979. It has 4 flippers, 1 pop bumper, 4 banks of 4 bank drop targets, 2 star rollovers, 1 kick out hole, and no slingshots. Have you guessed yet? The model number is 422. There was a 2-player EM version made of this game. And I think I'm out of clues. So have you guessed? Let's see. What do we have under the cover? Have you guessed what it is? It is Gottlieb's Countdown. All right, so here it is, the Gottlieb Countdown fully revealed. It's a pretty good shape, you know. I mean, it's from 1979. It's a pretty old game, but it's in pretty nice original condition. You know, there's obviously some things to fix on the cabinet, some loose plies here or there, some chunks missing here or there, but you know, overall, it looks pretty nice. I think the cabinet will clean up pretty well. It doesn't look like the previous owner spent a lot of time trying to clean up the cabinet, so I think with a little scrubbing and then a little buffing with Nuvis 2, and I think that cabinet will come up pretty nice. He did spend a little time with the coin door. It could use a little more work. The back box is in pretty good shape. You know, there's some scuffs and dings. That doesn't bother me. I tend to like a little patina on my games. It's also cool. It's got a lot of high scores scratched into or all around the head here. I like that. That's cool to have that original, you know, old etchings in the plywood. It's much better than, I don't like when people write on it with Sharpie, but when they kind of etch it in, I think it looks pretty neat. The back glass is pretty nice. You know, typical flaking in the skin tones. Somebody did a pretty reasonable job of touching it up. And since this game works, I saw this back glass lit up, and it looks real nice lit up. You can see the touch-ups a little bit, but not nearly as bad as some of the touch-ups I've tried to do on back glasses. So I'm pretty happy with that. There's a little bit of scuffing in the blue on the display glasses, like you always see on Gottlieb games. So I'm not too concerned with that. The rest of the paint seems really stable. We may have to triple thick it just for, you know, I like to do that on most of them, so we'll probably end up doing that. But other than that, cabinet-wise, we're just going to clean up what we got. We may do some minor touch-up on the chunked areas just to kind of blend them in, but that's it. So let me zoom in on some stuff and show you some more of my new 1979 Gottlieb Countdown. All right, so a closer look at the front of the glass. It's a mirrored black glass. Beautiful artwork. I love space themes, so I love the astronaut here and all the detail in his suit and helmet. And then we got the girl here, and you know, kind of the backdrop of like the inside of the spaceship. All the controls down here, really neat. The artwork is just fantastic. The artwork on a lot of System 1 games is really good. Unfortunately, a lot of the System 1 games are kind of what I call turds. I'm not a big fan of System 1 games in general, but I happen to really like the gameplay on this game, Countdown. Of course, Joker Poker. Everybody likes Joker Poker. Pinball Pool I like. I can't think of too many other System 1s that I like all that much, but it is a system that I've never worked on, so I like to try new systems, so I figured what the heck. All right, so here's the back of the back glass. You can see somebody spent quite a lot of time touching this up, and they did a pretty good job. Like I said, you know, the only thing is, I don't know if you can see it on the video, on the skin tone they used a spray paint. They got a lot of runs in it. You can see some of these runs when it's lit up, but it's not too bad, and the color match is great. So it looks perfectly fine lit up for me. I'm quite happy with it. No issues there. The blue of the score displays, they do sell a mask. You know, you kind of scrape off all the blue and use the mask. Maybe down the road at some point we'll do that. For now, I'm not going to worry about it. All the score displays looked good. They all worked, no problem. Let's open up into the boards here. All right. So here we have an original System 1 CPU board with 0 battery damage. This is very rare in a System 1. There used to be a battery, rechargeable battery here. It would leak the board. These boards are almost always destroyed, and everybody goes to the aftermarket Niam boards. But since I love original boards, I was really excited to see this. He did all the ground mods already, so they've been done. He put a remote battery pack on there. Eventually, I'm sure I'll put a 2032 battery on the board. The solenoid driver board, it's in good shape. Everything worked. Power supply, he did cap kits already, so I don't have to worry about doing that. He also repinned some of the connectors. I'll look at the rest of the connectors, but for now, The game was fully working, so as long as it continues to fully work when we get it all together and back in the game room, we'll just leave everything for now since I have other projects to get to. But, back in the insert board's really clean. It's pretty clean in here. These brackets, of course, have some rust on them. Maybe I'll take them out just to clean them up a little bit. But other than that, it's real nice. Pretty happy with this game. All right, so let's look at the playfield. All right, so we'll take a quick spin around the cabinet here. It's obviously not a perfect cabinet, but it's a reasonably good condition, original cabinet. Of course, the backs are always beat up on these games, and this one's no exception. It's got some things missing up there, some plies, but we'll get it all glued back together and at least stabilized for now. We're not going to do any kind of repainting on this cabinet or anything. All right, so now let's look at the playfield. All right, so here's the playfield. It's in a pretty nice original condition. He did a pretty good job cleaning it up. There's actually no real major issues that I see. If you look close, there's a little, you can see like the little craze in ball swirls, but all the yellows look nice and bright. I think he put insert stickers maybe here, but there's no blown out paint in the bonus area. Not even really any flipper drag anywhere. So it's a 4 flipper game. Here's the 4 banks of drop targets. Kick out hole up here. Pretty simple game. If you've never played this game, it actually is a really fun game. The point is to actually knock down the banks of drop targets in order. Like start with the green bank, that'll light 2x. Then if you knock down the yellow bank, that'll light 3x. If you knock down the red bank, that'll light 4x. Knock down the blue bank, you'll not get 5x. Really hard to do that in order, and that's what makes the game fun. It's got a real cool countdown bonus, meltdown. Although the sounds, of course, on System 1s are like beep, 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 beep. They're not real good, but whatever. It is a really fun game. Plastics are in great condition. I don't see any issues on any of these plastics. They're flat. I'm assuming he probably flattened them. The artwork is nice and bright. I don't see any cracks or anything like that. So it's real good starting point. I don't think we're going to have to do much here. I'm going to, end up taking a couple things off just to tumble them better, to get things shinier. The metal, I really like shiny metal on the playfield. But there's, and all the stainless trim, I need to regrain the side rails, clean up the receiver a little bit. Just minor stuff before we get into the game room, but not much. So let's lift up the playfield and take a look inside. All right, so underneath of the playfield, it's actually real clean. All the assemblies look real good, pretty shiny. Everything looks real clean. Like I said, I played the game, everything worked. We'll probably go through a couple things, probably change coil sleeves, all the, minor things that you do to a new game when you get it. But, it looks real nice. I don't see any major issues. All right, so let's look down in the depths of the cabinet. All right, so the inside of the cabinet, really clean in here, actually. Needs good vacuuming from moving it around. But once we get that vacuumed up, probably do a little sanding on the bottom just to clean it up a little bit, and that'll be it. All right, so that's the overview of the 1979 Gottlieb Countdown game that we just picked up. So I already brought the head into the game room. Next, I'm going to pull the playfield, bring that into the game room, which will leave me just the cabinet out here in the pinball workshop. And we're just going to start going through and fixing some of the cabinet issues that need to be re-glued, getting the cabinet clean. We'll pop the coin door off and probably the receiver. Probably pop the bottom board out. And we'll just give the game a nice overall clean-in. I don't like to bring anything into the game room before I really go through it and at least clean it. We're not actually going to fix or restore anything major on this game. It's a working game. We just want to get it nice and cleaned up, everything working properly, playing good, and we'll actually have a third game in the game room to play, because right now Back to the Future is fully operational and restored. Disco Fever is fully operational, restored, and that's it. So this will be the third game in the game room that's fully working. So I'm going to get this Playfield out now, bring it inside, and we'll start working on this game. All right, so that'll do it for this video. The reveal of the game that I picked up last night off the Pinside Marketplace, that I picked up that I shouldn't have picked up because I don't need another game project right now, but I picked it up anyway. Hope you enjoyed this video. More videos on the 1979 Gottlieb countdown to come as we get the game ready to go into the game room and actually play it, which will be fun. We'll do a gameplay video as well in the end. I want to thank you for watching My Vintage Pinball. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Check me out on Facebook, My Vintage Pinball starring Pindude. If you have any viewer mail questions or suggestions you'd like me to read on a video, send that to fierodoug@gmail.com. More info on that in the description for this video. So that'll do it. I am Pindude. This is My Vintage Pinball. Thanks for watching. See you next time.